Hi, hello. Good day to everyone, and welcome to our video lecture series in Introduction to Agriculture Policy and Development in the Philippines. In this video, we're going to tackle the Unit 4, the land reform and agrarian issues. Okay, so please like if these videos have gained you wisdom and knowledge. So we do have now 126 videos. Follow us and subscribe for more updates and recent video lectures related to agribusiness. So let's proceed to introduction to Unit 4, the land reform and agrarian issues. So so I welcome the students and to all our viewers in our course on Introduction to Agriculture and Policy and Development in the Philippines. So in this unit, we embark on a profound exploration of a pivotal aspect of agricultural policy, which is the land reform and agrarian issues. So throughout history, land ownership and distribution have been central to the socioeconomic landscape of our country. And the dynamics of land reform and agrarian issues reflect not only the struggles of our rural communities, but also the aspiration for social justice and equitable development. So, in this unit, we will navigate through the intricate tapestry of the Philippine agriculture, examining the historical roots and contemporary challenges, and also the future directions of our land reform and agrarian issues. As we embark on this journey, it's crucial to recognize the profound impact that these policies and issues have on the lives of millions of Filipinos who rely on agriculture for their livelihoods. So, first key objective is understanding the historical context. We will delve into the historical evolution of our land tenure system in the Philippines, tracing the legacies of colonialism, agrarian unrest, and struggles for land rights. And then exploring the contemporary challenges from landless and rural poverty to environmental degradation and unequal access to resources. We will examine the multifaceted challenges confronting our agricultural communities across the Philippines. And then, analyzing the policy interventions. We will scrutinize the various land reform programs and policies that have been implemented over the years, evaluating their successes, shortcomings, and implications for rural development, and engaging with critical debates. Through rigorous analysis and discussion, we will explore the diverse perspective and debates surrounding land reform and agrarian issues, fostering critical thinking and informed dialogue. Okay, so by engaging deeply with the complexities of land reform and agrarian issues, we aim to cultivate a deeper understanding of the structural forces shaping the Philippine agriculture and society. Moreover, we aspire to empower each and every one as future leaders and stakeholders in the agricultural sector and to contribute meaningfully to the discourse and action towards a more just and sustainable future. Okay, so as we embark on this intellectual journey together, I encourage you to approach the material with an open mind, critical inquiry, and a commitment to understanding the diverse realities of our agricultural communities in the Philippines. So, thank you for your enthusiasm and engagement as we delve into the captivating world of land reform and agrarian issues in the Philippines. Let's begin our exploration. First, let's talk about the historical context of land tenure in the Philippines. It started in the pre-colonial period. Land ownership was communal, with indigenous communities practicing collective land stewardship. And prior to Spanish colonialization, so our uh, indigenous people have diverse land tenure system based on their communal ownership and usufruct rights. And in the Spanish colonial era, where the encomienda and hacienda systems introduced large-scale land ownership, displacing indigenous communities and fostering inequality. And the Spanish colonial regime introduced the concept of private land ownership through the encomienda system and depriving indigenous communities of their ancestral lands. And during the American colonial period, the Homestead Program and Public Land Act facilitated land acquisition by American settlers and corporations, further marginalizing the Filipino farmers. And the American colonial government continued the land tenure system, further consolidating land ownership among wealthy elites and foreign corporations. And in the post independence period, where land distribution remained skewed, with large haciendas dominating agricultural lands, leading to social unrest and calls for land reform. Land ownership remained concentrated in the hands of a few landlords, leading to social unrest and calls for agrarian reform. Let's take a look in in the key land reform programs in the Philippines. Let's start in the Agricultural Land Reform Code, RA 3844, enacted in 1963, aimed to redistribute the agricultural lands to tenant farmers through voluntary land transfer and tenant purchase agreements. Then, the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, also known as CARP, implemented in 1988, expanded the scope of land reform, including the distribution of public and private agricultural lands, provision of support, services, and agrarian justice. And then the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program extension with reforms, or CARPER, extended CARP until 2014 with amendments to address loopholes and accelerate land distribution, but faced challenges in implementation. And the Agrarian Reform Law, which is the RA 6657 in 1988, this landmark legislation sought to redistribute agricultural lands to landless farmers and provide support services for our rural development. And then the Enhanced Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or ECARP, further strengthen the agrarian reform efforts by focusing on land acquisition and distribution, agrarian justice, and rural development. So, what are the current agrarian issues and challenges? Uh, First, the unequal land distribution. The large haciendas and landholdings persist, while many small scale farmers still remain landless or have inadequate land access. And there will be some violence, conflict throughout our history. The agrarian disputes often lead to violence, intimidation, and human rights abuses against farmers and agrarian reform beneficiaries. and also lack of support services, insufficient access to credit, technical assistance, infrastructure and marketing facilities hinder agricultural productivity and rural development. Although, as we can notice or we can observe that our government is also trying to cope up this challenge by providing key infrastructure projects in order for us to cope up with this kind of problems that we are encountering in our agricultural industry. And then the land tenure inequality. So the Philippines exhibits stark disparities in land ownership, with a significant portion of agricultural lands controlled by a small fraction of the population. And landlessness among rural farmers perpetuates cycles of poverty and marginalization and hindering their social economic development. But these challenges, as mentioned, our government is also extending uh, extra effort to empower our rural communities, our farmers. And then lack of access to credit and resources. There are small scale farmers often face barriers in accessing credit, technology, and agricultural inputs. Yes, despite of the effort of our government, there are still who are having a hard time, difficulty to access, especially the credit and resources, limiting their productivity and competitiveness. And then the land conversion and environmental degradation. The rapid urbanization and conversion of our agricultural lands for non agricultural purposes. So, if you notice, there are a lot of subdivisions where it was previously a prime agricultural land and it was being converted into subdivision or agro-industrial purposes. So our land are depleting for our agricultural purposes because of the um, spreading of the economic development, and that is part of the challenges actually, because land is doesn't uh, um, multiply, but it still remain in terms of area. So as the more that there will be economic development, urbanization, and conversion of our land from our agricultural lands into other purposes, this food basket, uh, as what we call, will will soon to shrink, and our food security will be at risk. So, what are the potential solutions and policy recommendations? First, accelerated land distribution by streamlining the land acquisition and distribution processes, addressing the bureaucratic inefficiencies, and enforcing land reform laws. So, if you are watching the news, our president, uh, Bongbong Marcos Jr., is distributing the titles of some of the lands to our farmers. So this is one of the initiative of our government to address the and provide a solution and policy recommendation in some of the problems that we're encountering in our land reform. And also enhance support services, providing access to credit, technical assistance and infrastructure, and market linkage for our agrarian reform beneficiaries. So one step at a time, we can observe that our government is somehow addressing the issue. Our government is also providing, extending their help by empowering some of the land bank of the Philippines. Some of its program is to really empower our farmers, and also by extension activities, and also through the effort of our Department of Agriculture, they are providing a technical assistance to our farmers, and also even in our group of farmers in the form of cooperatives and infrastructure. We can now see the the initiative of our government, especially in terms of infrastructure, in our roads, in our bridges, in our irrigations, and also our market linkages. So somehow, despite of the challenges, still there is an effort, an initiative that will address the problems that we encounter. And at the same time, the conflict resolution mechanism, we're strengthening the agrarian justice system, providing legal aid to our farmers and addressing the human rights violation, and sustainable agriculture practices, promoting agroecology, organic farming, and diversified cropping system to enhance productivity and resilience. As part of our lesson in um, other lecture, one of the initiative is really promoting agroecology and as well as our organic farming, where there is a bill, there is a law um, mandated to promote the organic farming, so that the what we call this the sustainable farming practices will be promoted and incorporated in our system. And diversified cropping system is part of the initiative of the sustainable agriculture practices, where we have multiple crops that we can produce in our portion of land that cultivate, so that these practices will really enhance the productivity, resilience, and it will really promote our us independence and our resilience in these challenges that we facing. Okay, so here's our references in our lectures for this video lecture. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude our exploration of Unit 4, the land reform and agrarian issues in our course on the introduction to agricultural policy development, I want to really express my gratitude for your engagement and commitment to understanding the complexities of this critical subject. So in this unit, we delved into the intricate web of land reform since it started from our historical, um, from the past. It started from our ancestors. And these agrarian issues and the broader agricultural policies started since then, shaping the landscape of our country in the in our agricultural sector, and not even in agriculture, but as a whole, as a country. We have explored the historical context since pre-colonial era and until the present, and the current challenges, the potential solutions that contribute to the overall development of our nation's agriculture sector. As we move forward, let us carry the knowledge gained from this unit and apply it to our ongoing discussions and analysis, recognizing the pivotal role of agriculture in our country's growth. It is essential for us to continue fostering a deeper understanding of the policies that govern this sector. By doing so, we can actively contribute to the formulation of informed decisions that promote sustainability, equity, and progress in the Philippine agriculture. So I encourage each and every one of us to further explore the related topics, engage in meaningful conversations, and stay informed about the evolving landscape of agriculture policies. Your understanding and advocacy are crucial in shaping the future of our nation's food security and rural development. Thank you for your dedication to this course, and I look forward to our continued exploration of agriculture policy and development in the upcoming units. Together, let us strive for a more resilient and prosperous agricultural sector in the Philippines. So that's the end of our video lecture for this topic. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again on our next video lecture. Stay tuned, and God bless to everyone.